Hi there. Today, I want to talk about why traditional business plans don't work and exactly what you can do about it. I'm going to show you the real reason why it doesn't work. And I'm going to help you to determine to take a different approach towards your business plan. So let's start from the beginning. Most people will tell you that business plans don't work anymore. They will tell you, just forget it. Just run your business anyhow. It doesn't matter. It doesn't work. But that is not entirely true, as you're going to discover. The point is, though, we need to set the record straight. Business plans did work then. They were effective. They were useful. People could raise money with the plans. They could run their businesses with those type of plans. But that was a different time. And the reality of the matter is this. Whilst traditional business plans worked before, they're going to struggle today. I'm telling you that now. That's because the question worth answering is this. What can I do differently? What is the best approach when we talk about writing or putting together a business plan? I'll tell you what, though, when you think about the traditional business plan, the world was slower then. Change was slower. There were fewer competitors. If you were a local shop then, you were truly a local shop. You sold your products only locally. You never sold globally. But now, it's completely different. Fewer options were available for people. Technology that is driving us forward now was simpler. It was a lot slower then, if you think about it that way. Now, let's look at this in practice. I don't know about you, but maybe this is going to show my age. There was a time in the UK, all you had was BBC One, BBC Two, Channel 4 and Channel 5. If you were lucky, there was something else that came after that. That was it. Those were the channels. You logged onto those channels and that's it. But that's very different now because then there was limited choice. Everything was predictable. There was the loyalty of audience. The result was that people writing business plans were so confident that their campaigns will work for many months. They knew that it was going to work for a long period of time. Look, what that meant for business planning was that it was less uncertain, it was more predictable, and plans lasted 3 to 5 years. It was not uncommon for you to be told, hey, we want to see your business plan for the next 2 years. Actually, we want to see a cash flow forecast for 2 years. I remember when I was writing successful business plans then, they were like, okay, we need to see a cash flow for 12 months and then possibly the next 2 years as well. So a total of 3 years cash flow. But now the world has changed. Honestly, the world has changed so fast, particularly in the last 2 years. When AI came in, there's now more competition. There are more platforms. There are more social media platforms. The social media platforms that we know, if I tell you name social media platforms, somebody tell me, okay, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, you probably talk about Instagram, you probably mention Snapchat, you probably mention TikTok, you will talk about Twitter. And then you notice that you don't have many more to talk about unless you are really into social media in a big way. But there are over 300 social media platforms. 300. So there are some platforms that you don't even know existed, but other people are using them and they are making money using those platforms. So the choices are so wide right now. There's so much variety of choices for individuals to use at the moment. The world has changed. Now it's driven by technology, by AI, artificial intelligence, it's driven by digital platforms, and there's hardly anybody now on earth who doesn't have a mobile phone. Some people even have 2 mobile phones. Some people have 3 mobile phones. Well, the point I'm making is that everything has completely changed. Now, if that's the case, then you got to change along with it in the way that you approach business planning. The same examples today. Let me give you some examples. Right now, you have hundreds of channels. You have, like I said earlier, hundreds of social media platforms. Everybody has a mobile phone. Everything changes quickly. No long-term plans can actually work unless you're updating it as you go along. That's the truth today. The key thing now is not that you should not plan at all. No, we're not suggesting don't plan. All right? We're saying that before the environment was stable. Now, the environment that you are in is constantly changing. Now we're experiencing a lot of disruption, continuous shift, and rapid evolution, rapid changes happening every day, every time. So things are completely different. Now, here's the deal. The core problem is this. The world has changed, but the way we plan hasn't. That's the problem. We're still planning in the traditional sense when the world has changed completely. So what should we do? The results we're getting is not good at all. And the reason why is because we're planning too far ahead. We're relying on assumptions. We're researching the market. So, well, that's what the market is saying now. So therefore, I'm going to make my decision based on that. Or you're building based on guesswork. Oh, I think I'm going to need this much money. Oh, I think I'm going to need this much resources. Oh, I think I'm going to need that many people, because you have not tried and tested exactly what you are doing. So here's the insight here. Traditional business plans were built for a slower world. One where most things were stable. Okay? It wasn't a bad method. No, it wasn't. The problem is that time has changed right now. Time has changed. This is the reality. This is the reality today. This is where we are right now. So we're now operating in a fast-changing environment. So one defined by digital acceleration, or unpredictable market shifting, and lots of competition globally, even if you're a local person. That's the fundamental shift. So therefore, we need to shift the way we consider putting together the plan we want to use to run our businesses. So we're not suggesting don't plan. We're saying be flexible about the way you plan. That is why I want to introduce you to a better way. And this is my better way. Take a look at this. Now, what you need to do is to plan a little, take action, learn from the results of your planning, and then improve your plan, and then go again and plan a little. Short-term planning is the way forward. Move quickly in the real world by testing your ideas. Test your customers, test your advert, test your products, test the market you want to use, test your lead generation system, test your funnel, test everything. You're going to test everything, know what's worked, get the results, and then use those results to improve your plan. That's the way forward. There's no other way that you can survive today without doing that. So let's take a look at it in a picture form. Plan, set short-term direction plans based on what you know right now, because somebody says, oh, if I want to launch a product, I need to know everything. No, you're not going to know everything. You cannot know everything. It's impossible for you to know everything. That's why you have to plan a little. You have to plan to the short term. Next, take action. Take action on what you're going to do. Then you improve on what you've learned from the action you've taken. People are locking themselves up in their garage and hoping that they're going to come up with this plan that's just suddenly going to work. They're going to dump it on the market and it's going to change the world. No, you've got to plan. You've got to act by testing what you believe. Then you improve on what you've learned, and then you keep on learning and plan again. See, that's the point. So plan a little, act, learn, and then plan again. That's the only way you're going to survive. Why? Well, because that kind of planning adapts to change. That kind of planning reduces guesswork, and that kind of planning uses real experience. You know, I cannot overemphasize the fact that real experience is what's going to count, even in the AI age. You can work with ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or any of those large language modules. But the point is, unless you put some things into practice, you're not going to gain experience. And if you're not getting experience, you're not tested anything. And as a result of that, you don't really know what's going to work or how things are going to work. So here we go. This is the issue. A problem is not business planning. No, you need to plan. You need to have a direction that you're heading out to. The problem is the old method of planning. So the problem is not business planning, as I said. The problem is using an old method in a new environment. That's what most people are doing. I'll tell you what, if you want a system, the full system of what I'm talking about, I've put together a full workshop for you where you will learn, and I'll walk you through every step of the way. Thank you so much for spending time listening to me on this video. If you like what you've heard, then do subscribe to my channel and come back for more. But like I said, if you want the full system, I've put together a full workshop where I can walk you through everything that I've talked about step by step. Until then, I'll see you later on, and God bless you. Bye-bye.